Hi everyone! We are now live in Solidworks Users Philippines for creating photorealistic renders from Solidworks to Keyshot. Inviting you to register now. The registration form is in the event details. Of course, inviting you to like and follow SolidWorks Users Philippines in Facebook. And we also have user group Philippines in LinkedIn. Okay? Register now and we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, hi everyone. We are now back and inviting you to register. And if you have questions along the webinar, feel free to post it in our comment section. Okay, so I'll be adding our instructor this afternoon, Miss Veronica Noche. Hello.
Hi, Miss Nelsie. Good afternoon.
Good
Hi
afternoon.
everyone. I hope you will enjoy this live stream, creating photorealistic rendering from Solidworks to Keyshot. So let's begin. I will now going to share my screen.
Hi everyone! Now let's begin creating our model in SolidWorks. For those who are new to this software, feel free to check out our other courses in the library. Let's create a new document. Head up, selecting New, left click. That new is specifically a part. Select a part, left click, and click OK. Let's create a sketch. Head over to Feature Design Manager 3. Select the plane, specifically top plane, left click, and click Sketch. Let's create a center rectangle. Head over to Sketch tab. Under this drop down, left click and select Center Rectangle. Left click. Place its center point at the origin. Left click. Moving your mouse down. Left click. And to add its dimension, go to Sketch tab and click Smart Dimension. Click this vertical edge. Left click and key in 85. Enter. Now proceed to this horizontal line. Left click. Key in 75. Enter. Now we are about to click Exit Sketch. Left click. Heading to Features. Selecting Extruded Boss or Base. Setting its value to 200. Click Enter. Click the green check mark button. Left click. Click this Zoom to Fit to see its free view. Now this rectangle will set as the body of our bottle. Now let's proceed creating a sketch on the top of the rectangle. Selecting this top, left click, and select Create Sketch. Head over to Sketch tab. Under this drop down, select Center Rectangle. Placing again its center point to the origin. Moving your mouse down until you reach the edge of the rectangle. With that, we can now exit the sketch. Selecting Exit Sketch, left click, go to Features, selecting this reference geometry because we are now about to create a plane. Selecting this drop down and select Plane. Now select the previous rectangle that we have been created. Left click and set its value to 80. Select the green check mark button, then left click. Now in this plane, we are about to create a sketch. Left click and select Sketch. Go to Sketch tab. Under this drop down, left click, select Circle. Place its point to the origin. Moving your mouse down, left click. Add a dimension. To do that, go to Sketch. Select the Smart Dimension, left click. Select this circle, left click, and key in 30. Enter. Now click the green check mark button, left click, and click Exit Sketch. Now click and hold your middle mouse wheel. Position your model. Click Zoom to Fit. Go to Features. Selecting this lofted bust or base. Left click. Selecting this circle. This rectangle. And click the green check mark button. Now we are about to hide these two active planes. First, select this plane, left click, and select Hide. Now select this sketch plane, click Hide. Now we are done creating the body and the shoulder of our bottle.
So let's continue creating our bottle.
Our next target is to create a sketch on the top of this face. Left click, then select Create Sketch. Head over to Sketch tab. Under this drop down, select Circle. Left click. Placing its center point to the origin, left click. Moving your mouse until you reach the edge of the circle. Head over to Exit Sketch. Now we are about to go to Features and select Extruded Boss or Base. Then key in 20. Then click the green check mark button. If you want to see its preview, just click and hold your mouse wheel. Then click Zoom to Fit. Selecting this top face, click Create Sketch. Now we are about to create a sketch. Place its center point to the origin. Left click. Move your mouse down. Left click. We are about to add dimension. Go to Sketch tab and select Smart Dimension. Let's select this circle. Move your mouse to the right and key in 34. Click the green check mark button. And once you're done, click Exit Sketch. Now let's extrude once more, selecting this circle. Select Extrude and key in 7. Click the green check mark button. Click once more the green check mark button on the right side. Now our target is to create another sketch. Click this top face. Select Sketch. Go to Sketch tab. Under this drop down, select Circle. Now move your mouse at the origin. Left click. Move your mouse down. Left click. Let's add dimension. Go to Sketch tab and select Smart Dimension. Head back to the circle. Left click. Move your mouse to the right. Left click. And key in 30. Move your mouse to the left and click the green check mark button. Click Exit Sketch. Go to Features. Select Extruded Boss or Base. Left click.
Then head up and click the green check mark button. Once more, let's see its preview. By simply moving and rotating the model. Now, let's zoom this in. Next, we are about to create a sketch. Let's select this top face, then click left click. Now, let's head over to Sketch tab. Selecting this drop down, then select circle. Place its center point to the origin. Left click, moving your mouse down. Left click. Now let's add a dimension. Selecting Smart Dimension. Selecting this circle. Move your mouse to the right. Left click. And key in 34. Click the green check mark button. And click Exit Sketch. Now, let's head over to Features. Selecting Extruded Boss or Base. Since we already have 7, and the value we need is also 7, just click the green check mark button. Now, let's head over to Search tab. Type in Rotate. And select Rotate View. Let's now rotate our model. And click Zoom to Fit. Now, let's head over again to Features. Selecting Shell. We are about to shell this top face. Selecting its value and key in 2 mm. Then click Enter. Selecting this green check mark button. Now, let's add some features. Let's select Fillet. Selecting this edge. Also this one. Selecting Rotate View. Click Escape. Let's continue to fillet the other edge. Allow its value to 10 mm. Then click the green check mark button. Once again, let's head over to Features. Selecting Fillet. Selecting the leg of the bottle. And key in 15. Click Enter. And click the green check mark button. Now let's fillet one more. Head over to Features. Selecting Fillet. Selecting this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, and this edge. Head over to Search tab. Type in Rotate. Then see the inner part of the rectangle. Just click Escape to exit the Rotate view and continue to fillet the other edge. Fillet this one, and this one. Also this one. And key in 1 mm. And click the green check mark button. Now let's create another sketch for the liquid of our bottle. So, selecting Rotate View once again. Selecting the inner rectangle. Click Sketch. Head over to Sketch tab and click Center Rectangle. Placing its center point to the origin. Moving your mouse down. Let's add a dimension. Selecting Smart Dimension. Selecting this line. And key in 70. Enter. Also, let's select this line. And key in 65. Then click Enter. Then let's head over to Exit button. Now let's go to Features. Selecting Extruded Boss or Base. Extruded this area. And key in 200. Click Enter. Click the green check mark button. Search Rotate and selecting Rotate View. Rotating our model and click Zoom to fit. Now let's save this part. So let's head over to menu bar, selecting File and click Save. Rename this file name and type in Bottle Glass. Then click Save. Congratulations! We succeed to create our first model.
So we have now our bottle. Now let's proceed to our next model.
Let's begin creating our second model. Head over to Feature Manager Design Tree. Because we are about to create a plane, specifically right plane, selecting right plane, left click and click Sketch. After that, our goal is to create a sketch, selecting line and click this drop down and click line. So place your first point at the origin, left click, move your mouse to the left, left click, move your mouse up, left click, move your mouse to the right, left click, move your mouse down, left click, again move your mouse to the right, left click, then move your mouse down until you reach the origin. Our next goal is to add dimension. Go to Sketch tab once again and click Smart Dimension. Dimensioning this vertical line, left click, move your mouse to the left, left click, and key in 60. Then click Enter. Next, let's add a dimension in this horizontal line. Left click, move your mouse up, left click, and key in 38. Click Enter. Again, let's dimension this horizontal line at the bottom. Left click, move your mouse down, left click, and key in 40. Click Enter. Next is to dimension this vertical line. Left click, move your mouse to the right, and key in 10. Now our target is to create a center line. You may notice that our model is now in a shade of black. That means our model is now fully constrained. Our next target is to create a center line. So let's head over to this Sketch tab. Under this drop down, select center line, left click, placing your point above the origin, left click, move your mouse down until it intersects the origin, left click, and click the Escape button. Once you're done, click Exit Sketch, left click. Now let's head over to Features, selecting Revolve, Boss or Base. You may see the preview. Selecting this green checkmark button, left click. To add features, let's head over to Fillet. Then left click. Selecting this part and this part. Then keying 0.3 millimeter. Click the green check mark button. Now let's continue to fillet. Then fillet the bottom part of this shot glass. Key in 2mm.
Click the green check mark button. And for the last time, let's fillet the bottom part of the shot glass.
Key in 5mm. Then click the green check mark button. Now, let's go to search bar. Type in rotate to see the inner part of our glass, since we are about to create an instant liquid for our model. Next is to create a sketch. Left click and click sketch.
On the left section, selecting sketch and set to normal 2.
Under this drop down, select circle. Placing your center point to the origin, moving your mouse down, left click, head over to Smart Dimension, dimensioning your circle, and key in 70. Now click the exit button. Go to features, selecting extrude, boss or base, key in 40. Click the green check mark button. Also, click the green check mark button on the right side. Now, let's head over to search tab and click rotate view to see the preview of your shot glass. Since we're done, let's now save the file.
Ctrl S.
Set its file name to shot glass. So congratulations, we are now done creating our second model. Now, let's create new file. Selecting new. We are about to create an assembly. Selecting assembly and click OK. Wait until the Solidworks open in an assembly mode. Let's select the part which is the bottle glass. Left click and hold. Position your bottle on where it's best fit. Let's select assembly and click new component. Now let's add our second model, specifically the shot glass. Selecting shot glass. Left click and hold. Then let's position it beside the bottle. Now head over to menu bar. Selecting file. And select save. Now we're about to rename the file. But first, let's head over to its right location. Renaming this file and type in assemble. After that, just click save. Congratulations! You are now able to assemble the two models in an organized position.
So are you ready to plug this into Keyshot? Now let's proceed.
As we have created the model, we are now launching it to Keyshot. As we target to render and get its photorealistic image. But first, let me demonstrate to you how to use live linking to improve speed and efficiency when working simultaneously between SolidWorks and Keyshot. Actually, the SolidWorks live linking plugin is free to download from this link, www.keyshot.com/resources/downloads/plugins. Live linking enhances your rendering workflow and expand the possibilities of what you can create.
On the bottom part of this section, first, we need to select an appropriate version and run the installer. To do that, select BS SolidWorks, left-click, and click Download. Second, you need to go to your File Manager and select Keyshot 10 SolidWorks 1.0. Right-click and click Run as Administrator. Then, let's get back to our SolidWorks. Go to Menu Bar, selecting Tools, and click Add-ins. And make sure the Keyshot 10 is active
And start to open on Startup.
then click OK. Moving forward, let's get back to Tools and get back to its upper section. Select the Keyshot 10 menu, click Send to Keyshot 10. Wait until the Keyshot 10 launch its interface. Now, your part and assembly will be imported, centered, and snapped to ground. With original size and model's unit assembly. Actually, you can also import files from this button on both Mac and PC. But since we're able to open the file by Keyshot plugin, let's now proceed studying its interface. Keyshot simplifies your life. I will let you prove that
Since creating photorealistic image of your 3D model
does not require you to be a rendering expert or professional. Simply import your data, drag and drop materials onto your model to allocate them, tweak the lighting, and by simply shifting the camera, you will be able to have your photorealistic rendering model. By giving you some overview, you can easily adapt and follow some procedures on rendering your own model. So let's get started. First, let me tour you in our Keyshot interface. At the top, we have the file which composed of new, import, import dialog, open, open recent, save, save as, which allows you to transfer data files easily. We also have menus for editing, environment, lighting, camera, and so on. There are all the basic tools you need when you are about to render your model. On the next row, you observe that we have toolbars like CPU usage, where we can get the performance settings that we have targeted to be 100%. We can also tumble the camera by left-clicking and drag, pan to place your model on where it best fits, and dolly to zoom in and out. Beside is the perspective for your camera and tools for editing materials. On the left side, you will find the Keyshot library, which has a stack of materials, colors, textures, environments, backgrounds, favorites, and model that you can use in your scene. And on the right side part of this interface is the project window, which contains all the setup and settings for everything in your scene, organized into 6 tabs. First is the scene, material, camera, environment, lighting, and image. Now, we have one here at the bottom that allows us to access a cloud library, which allows us to access an internet base with more materials and so on. We also have the ability to import objects, bringing our library and project, to do an animation, in which allows you to animate your model, the Keyshot XR, which involves interactive product presentation on a website, and to render your final project. Now for you to increase rendering speed noticeably, you can switch to GPU mode in the ribbon. Since traditionally, Keyshot has been CPU-based rendering. As you notice, my GPU ribbon are inactive, so probably I will use CPU and I am not allowed to switch between two. But if you have one, I am suggesting you to switch between CPU and GPU to spot its difference when rendering your model. Congratulations! You are able to adapt some idea that you may apply when you plan to start rendering your own model.
Now, let's apply some materials from to this model. Let's use Keyshot to render this shot glass and bottle beer.
Let us now begin rendering our model in Keyshot. So first, we need to set our workspace by default. But since I already set this workspace on default mode, I will now going to proceed on applying materials on my model. But before that, I would like to remind you that in applying textures and materials to your model, the secret is to just drag and drop the material, color, texture, or anything that are inside your library. Easy, right? As there is library where you can pick or choose any of them. So for our model, we need to go to materials, scrolling this down, and select glass. Under this glass, let's choose solid glass and apply these glass materials in color of white. Just drag and drop the material onto the model. I just need to apply the same materials on the shot glass. You may encounter this reminder. A material with the same name is already in use. Do you want to link these materials? If that's so, just click yes, since I need to have a glass as material to my model. But if you want to unlink materials to your model, just select the one that you want to unlink, right click, select unlink materials, then left click. Later, I will going to show the process so that you can easily visualize what I am saying. Next, I want to add liquid materials to my model. So let's select liquids, selecting liquid beer, drag and drop this material to my model. Then left click and hold to see its preview clearly. For each texture, all I need is to show off the coolest part, which is the bump mapping. Bump maps create the illusion of depth and textures on the surface of our bottle. Now, I wanted to select labels from texture, but instead of having these labels as logo design, I wanted to bump map this label onto my model. So, what I am going to do now is to drag and drop this label to the bottle. And since those two models is linked to each other, both of them will have this bump map on their surface. If you were curious, we can still be able to use any of these labels as our logo design to our model. Just drag and drop the logo and choose add labels as our texture map type. Now, let's position the logo. Adjust its size and place it where it best fits. If you're already satisfied, then click the green check mark button. Now, let's add background to our scene. Head over to Library, selecting Background. Scroll this down. Let's choose any of the background that is somewhat related to our model. So, I decided to choose kitchen counter as a background for our model. What I am going to do is to simply drag and drop this background behind our model. Congratulations! We're now able to apply materials, textures, and background to our model. Now, our target is to position this model. So let's head over to project window selecting camera, scrolling this down, then selecting this grid. Under this drop down, let's select Tries as our grid. These grids are very important because it is so useful as our guidelines in positioning our model. Now let's head back to Tools, selecting Move Tools, and since this shot glass is being selected, let's now move this beside this bottle. Now allow me to dolly this model. I want to make it a little more smaller, so let's dolly it out. Now let's use Span to position our model in the center. Just remember to consider our guidelines. Once more, let's proceed again to our project window, selecting lighting, and adjust our ray bounds until we reach the value of 20. After you're done, select the render button. Let's type in the file name and click render. Now, all we need to do is to wait for our model to be rendered. Then click the green check mark button. Congratulations! We succeed to do our first rendering task in Keyshot. Now, allow me to open my Google tab since I will teach you how to use GrabCAD to download some other Solidworks model that we are allowed to plug into Keyshot for its photorealistic rendering. Your first step is to search in grabcad.com in Google, because actually, your first step is to sign in using your account. Like me, I signed in using my UB mail. Now let's head over to Library, search for the parts you wish to download. And since I prepared to download TM10 headphone, I type in TM10 headphone to the search tab. Click this file, scroll this down, clicking downloads, and read some details regarding the model. Now, it's already downloaded. Let's head back to File Manager and extract the zip file. Selecting Downloads and selecting the zip file. Right-click and click Extract Files. Now click OK. Head over to the extracted file, selecting the part, left click, and wait until it launches in your interface. Head over to menu bar, selecting Tools, selecting Keyshot 10, then click Send to Keyshot. Wait until your model be launched in Keyshot interface. Now your model is launched in Keyshot interface. If you move the camera, you'll notice that it starts to look a little blurry, then clears up as the image is rendered. So congratulations! Your next step is to get its photorealistic image.
Now, let's try again rendering our SolidWorks model that we get in GrabCAD to Keyshot.
Now, let's begin with setting up our workspace in default mode. Now, let's use available material from the library, but first, you need to unlink materials from your model so that we are allowed to add materials separate from the one we want to drag and drop to. For example, unlinking this material. So selecting this right earpiece, right-click, and select Unlink Material. Then select the left earpiece, right-click, then select Unlinked Material. Now, let's apply carbon fiber as the material of the headband of our model. Just simply drag and drop the material on the headband. After that, let's search the material for our earpiece. Go to the search bar in the library, type in rubber. Then drag and drop material on the right and left part of the earpiece. Since we apply the same materials on both of the earpiece, just click yes. Now, let's tumble to see its preview. Through tumble, we are allowed to rotate our model 360 degrees. So you can see clearly all the parts of your model. Now, let's add camera. Head over to toolbar, select add camera. Now, under the camera, let's head over to grid, scrolling this down, and set rise as our grid guidelines. Let's apply grid as this was so essential as guidelines for our model, for it to be more balanced. So go along and pan our model, set its position until we are satisfied. Now, let's head over to environment, select HDRI editor, scrolling down, enabling color active, since currently the background is being controlled by an image, and I don't want that because I want my background to be all black. But before that, let's head back to settings. Let's scroll down and enabling flatten ground for us to have backdrop later when we apply the pin light. Okay, next is to head back to HDRI editor. I'm going to change color in this little menu, and it's gonna make sure that you've got no light in the scene. Moving this up and click OK. Now that we have a black canvas, we can start adding pins to it. To do that, we will use the Add Pin features in the toolbar. Click and drag this pin around inside of our sphere. This first pin is actually a backdrop, so when I click and drag, it will just go in the frame. Actually, that is all we need to do. Since I double press it, you will notice that it also double my pin, which causes to increase its brightness. So please allow me to delete the first one that I made and use it again if needed. Now, you will see that it has more black on the scene. So let's try placing the pin on its best position. I decided to put it behind my product. I learned this technique from Mr. Liam. Now, let's try changing its color to green, since I love the scenery if green touches the background. Head over to color menu, selecting green, and click OK. Let's try add dynamic to our scene. Head over to library and go to texture tab. Search in black granite, and to use this texture, Let's click and drag it to HDRI editor. Now move and position your pin anywhere in the scene until you get satisfied on the looks of your scene. Now scroll down and change the radius of our pin to 90. Quite large because this is going to be our backdrop. From add, let's change it into blend so that we are able to combine those two images essentially together in this HDRI editor. And you can see the effect of it if you get this coolest wind effect scene. Now let's head over to camera and save our file. Click save and change its file name, typing in HDRI editor. Click save. Now let's click render. Double click, then click render. Now let's wait until the rendering process done. Finally, let's save the file. Type in HDRI editor. Then click save. Congratulations! We accomplished to render our model. Now we're done. Hi, Miss Nelsie.
Okay, if you have questions, feel free to post it in our comment section, and after the short video, we'll answer your question. Okay?
I'm here to meet students as they take their first step on their journey to Solidworks certification.
It's always good to have it on your resume. It's always a step in front of people that don't have the certifications.
I think it's better to have the certification for the upcoming jobs that I want to do.
You always practice on school, but now you have a certification, so now you can prove it.
Just really helped me get a job. It got me a lot of job interviews as well.
Solidworks provides dedicated tools and workflows that streamline the design and development of your products from concepts through to reality. Thousands of companies worldwide rely on Solidworks to get their products to market on time and within budget. All great designs start with a great idea, and sketching in Solidworks is simple and straightforward. Even the most complex ideas are easy to realize with instant feedback and standard tools at your fingertips. Intelligence is baked into Solidworks, making it simple to create winning designs in record time. Essential features such as holes are easily created using the Hole Wizard. An extensive library of hole types and configurations is available at your fingertips, keeping your design consistent with company standards. Rapid design changes can get you ahead of the game when it comes to the competition. Solidworks enables you not only to modify design dimensions, but also drag and drop geometry with a minimum of effort. Customers demand great-looking products, and Solidworks provides powerful surface design tools to handle even the most complex shapes. Today's products also require a variety of other CAD capabilities. Take sheet metal part design, for example. Walls, hems, and forms are created with the usual consistent workflow that Solidworks users love. Standard features can be dragged from a design library, reducing rework. Meanwhile, SolidWorks automatically keeps the flat pattern up to date for rapid distribution to manufacturing. The design of structures like this is both common and challenging. Dedicated tools and workflows within SolidWorks let you define structural members from industry standards, taking care of joints, welding data, and additional hardware. An accurate cut list is automatically created to keep scrap to an absolute minimum. SolidWorks takes care of even the most complex assemblies containing many thousands of parts. Components can be snapped together with a minimum of fuss while mimicking real-life behavior. Smart fasteners streamline the addition of hardware such as nuts, bolts, and washers. These automatically resize based on standards to fit the application. A great time saver. Understanding the performance of your ideas early in the design process can be crucial to a successful product launch. SolidWorks provides powerful tools to evaluate the design, giving you the confidence of getting to market ahead of time and with maximum quality. Incorporating electrical design into your SolidWorks mechanical design is seamless. SolidWorks understands the logical connections and physical wire routings needed to provide early and accurate harness design compared to manual guesswork and iteration. Routing pipework and ducting is both simple and powerful in SolidWorks. Standard fixtures and fittings provide a backbone for both solid and flexible pipes, giving you accurate routing and cut lengths to take to manufacture. When you are ready to document and detail your designs, SolidWorks makes things quick and simple. Starting with a standard drawing sheet, 2D views are snapped into place from the palette. Automatic projection views are created and sections are as simple as drawing a line to define the section plane. Accurate dimensions can be taken straight from the 3D model or created with intuitive tools for additional placement and tolerancing. Assembly drawings contain accurate detail and prominent exploded views. Automatic bills of material and item balloons make understanding the design easy for manufacturing and suppliers. SolidWorks provides tools that help you develop great products faster. If you have a great idea for a design, SolidWorks provides everything you need to bring your designs to life in less time and at lower cost. This has been your first look at SolidWorks. For more information, contact your local reseller or explore our website.
Thank you, Veron, for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you din po, Miss Nelsie.
Okay. So I'd like to invite everyone on September 3. Let me share my screen. Okay, September 3 for multi-body modeling in SolidWorks. So if you're interested, head over to youtube.com/SolidWorks Philippines. Okay, so where you can see our upcoming live stream trainings. Okay, so for September 3, we have multi-body modeling in SolidWorks. If you're interested, kindly head to our YouTube channel and register. Okay, once more, thanks everyone for joining. Keep safe and healthy. Bye, everyone.
Keyshot is a standalone real-time rendering application that makes the creation of 3D renderings and animations fast and easy. Used worldwide by top design professionals and independent 3D artists working in industrial design, marketing, engineering, entertainment, automotive, architecture, jewelry, and packaging. Keyshot is the complete solution for your 3D visualization needs. Keyshot directly imports over 40 different 3D file formats on both Mac and PC. It offers free plugins for major 3D and CAD applications like 3D Studio Max, Cinema 4D, Rhino, SketchUp, Creo, SolidWorks, Fusion 360, and many more. This enables fast data transfer and continuous model updates through live linking. A drag-and-drop based workflow makes Keyshot easy to learn in minutes. Materials, environments, backplates and more are easily applied to the scene from the library. Keyshot's real-time rendering allows you to see everything as it happens. Every change from materials and lighting to cameras and animation is seen instantly. The interface is simple and fully customizable while also providing advanced capabilities for experienced users. Hide the buttons you don't use, scale them as needed, position panels and tabs as you like, and save presets for quick swapping between different layouts. Keyshot's scientifically accurate materials create the highest quality visuals. Select from an extensive library of material presets including plastics, glass, metals, paint, toon, and more. Modify any material by changing or adding colors, textures and labels, and browse the cloud library for user-generated and exclusive partner assets like Moltec Plastics, Axalta Paints and Sørensen Leathers. For material color you can define your own using various color spaces or use industry standard color libraries such as RAL and Pantone. When full customization of materials is needed, the material graph lets you adjust, combine and mix procedural and bitmap textures in a visual and non-destructive node-based system. The camera is easily adjusted by navigating the viewport. Fine-tune settings through sliders and numeric input and add effects like depth of field in the camera tab. Save any number of cameras for quick toggling between different angles and camera setups. Spherical HDRI environments make lighting setup easy. Drag interiors, exteriors and studio setups into the scene or to the environment list for quick swapping between different setups. For full custom control, the integrated HDRI editor lets you add and adjust any number of lighting pins and bring them into perfect position by pointing on the model. For additional control, physical lights provide scientifically accurate simulation. Visualize scenes with simple settings that create the most accurate lighting from studio shots to the most complex interiors. Easily add animation to engage your audience with simple turntables, dynamic exploded views, dramatic camera path and much more. Keyshot XR brings the advantage of plug-in free touch-enabled web content to desktops and mobile. Final images can be saved as simple screenshots or rendered at any resolution to the most common file formats, including JPEG, PNG, and TIFF 32-bit. For ultimate post-processing control, renderings can be exported as 32-bit Photoshop files with a wide range of passes in separate layers, including global illumination, reflection, shadow, ambient occlusion, clown, depth, and more. When more CPU power is needed, Keyshot Network Rendering allows you to take advantage of your network's computer resources for rendering. After the simple installation process, any user with Keyshot can send a job to be rendered on the network. The jobs are organized into a queue that all users can view. Compatible with PC and Mac, Keyshot uses 100% of available CPU power. No special graphic card is needed and all CPU power scales linearly for unmatched performance. Download your free trial at keyshot.com/try to see why it is the preferred choice for high quality rendering and animation at companies such as Fossil, Microsoft, Samsung and more.